Okay, so in this video we're going to have a look at how to start making a game. So I'm going to start by making the little fishy game. The idea is we're going to have a fish and he's going to go around and collect little pellets underwater, and there's going to be a big fish that's trying to stop him. So we're going to look at a lot of elements as we go through this, so pause it as many times as you need and just keep up. So I've got the fish. Let's go through and put a background in. So we need an underwater one. Let's see what we've got. Water. Oh, look at that. There we go. We've got an underwater one there. And now we need a shark. So now under fish, I saw there was a shark there. There we go. Actually, you know what? I don't want that shark. I liked that puffer fish. Looks better. Okay, and I'm going to shrink him down to maybe, let's say, 50 in size. There we go. And now we're going to need something for the fish to eat. Okay, so now I like these little balls here, just because when we shrink them down, they're a nice little collectible item. So let's just shrink that down to 20. There we go. Notice I am keeping everything nice and small, just because we've got such a small play field to actually work with. Small just works better for a game. So let's get into it. So I'm going to go back to the fish, and we're going to start our game, and we're going to put in our little green flag there. And now we're going to actually build our fish's movement controls. So anything in a game requires a repeat loop. And now I'm going to need to also set a variable, because this is how I decide whether the game's finished or not. So I'm going to make a variable, and we're going to call it is finished. Is finished. There we go. And make it for all of them. So, and now operator, and I'm going to compare is finished to repeat until is finished is equal to 1. So 1 also means true, so in computer programming. So then I'm going to set it here to is finished is equal to 0 to start with. So this is a little bit complicated, but let me break it down. So when the program starts, it sets is finished to 0. So it's saying the game is now going to go until is finished is equal to 1. So now we come into this loop. What is finished? Set to 0, so therefore it's just going to stay here forever and the game's never going to finish. And let's just hide that, so we can't see that one, because we don't want to see that one. And now we can go ahead and actually put in our if statements here. So what I want is, actually I don't need an if statement. All I need is go to mouse pointer. There we go. And now you can see he's constantly, actually I don't like that. I don't like him constantly staying on the mouse pointer. So let's change him up. Okay, let's get rid of that, and let's have him always look at the mouse pointer. Look at the mouse pointer. And if the mouse is down, then I'm going to move him 10 steps. Here we go. So now we can actually see he glides around, and that's what we want. Actually, he's moving quite nicely there. So I'll go and stop that. Okay, and there we've actually got the basic movement for our fish. So now we need to continue on, and we need to have a look at some, well, what happens when the fish collects the pellet. Let's do that one next. So now we've got if the fish collides is touching the ball, what do we want to do? Well, first thing we want to do is actually give it a score. So we need to set score, and we've got this my variable here that is unlisted, so I wonder if we can change its name. Doesn't look like we can. I'll rename. There we go. And let's call it score. So now we've got a score here, so let's Firstly, at the beginning of the game, we're going to set score to 0. So it always goes to 0 when we start the game. And we're going to change the score by 1 when it touches the ball. So if we see here, we'll start it up and... Oh, that's because I finished it. Score. There we go. And you can see as it touches it now, you can see the score going up like crazy. It's because for every frame, which is 30 frames a second in Scratch, it's registering that it's touching it. But that's okay. We'll sort that out in a minute. So that's working. And now what we want to do is we want to tell that ball to actually change position. So there's two ways we can do it. We can either broadcast to the ball that it's being touched, or we can just have another touch statement working in reverse from the ball. So let's just go ahead and broadcast it to the ball though. So we're going to up here, broadcast, and we're going to have a new message and we're going to say collected. So we're broadcasting the fact that the fish has collected the ball. And now we go to the ball and we receive that collected broadcast, and now we want to do something with it. And what do we want to do with it? We want to change the position of this ball. So go to random position. So here we go. Oh, 1, and there he's moved over to there. There we go, and now he's moving. Okay, so the game's working quite well. And I'll stop that there. Next thing we want to do is we want to grow the fish's size. So if we come down here, where is his size? It's been a while since I've done this one. It's under looks, set size too. Okay, change size. So let's pop in change size there, and we'll change size by, let's make it 5. So now the fish gets bigger and bigger with every one that he eats. And you can see very soon it's going to be a very big fish. So maybe 5's a little too big. Oh, don't like when it gets caught on the mouse there. Okay, so maybe 5's a little too big. So maybe I'm going to change it to 2. Okay, and we're going to need to set the fish size at the beginning of the game too. And we had that set to 30, didn't we? Yep, there we go. Okay, and now also we want to set the fish's position. So we really want the fish to start somewhere about here. So let's put in a go to, and now no matter where the fish is, when we start, it'll always start in the right position. There we go. Okay, so we've actually got most of the game finished now. Next thing we need is we need to have this pufferfish moving. So let's go to the pufferfish, and we put in the programming for him. So when the game starts, what do we want? Well, we want him to start at the location that the pufferfish is at. And we then want to start a loop. In this time round, or do I want to do a forever loop? No, I will still do this one. I'll be good. I won't cheat. And we can put in here, and is finished equal to 1. So now we've got that same loop happening here. And when this one here changes, when this one changes to 1, well, it's going to stop this one here as well. So let's continue on. So if is fish, so is, okay, so we're in the loop. So now we need move. Forward, and we don't want him to go too fast, so let's make him go by 5, and we'll set his if on edge bounce. So here we go. So now we can actually see he's just simply bouncing. And oh, we've got a problem there because he's just bouncing left and right there. So let's have a look at that. Maybe what we need to do is we need to set his starting rotation. So if we start him, oh, we're on fish, let's go. If we start him and we'll put in random 1 to 360, now there we go, there he goes. And you notice if we start again, he'll pick a different angle each time when he starts. Okay, and off he goes. Oh, and where's the ball? There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. Okay, so we can see we're avoiding him quite easily. And our fish is getting bigger. But now we need to actually have an end game state. So what's going to actually tick this over to 1? So we're back on the fish now. And well, that's simple. And that's if the fish collides with the puffer fish here. So let's go back to control and let's put in another if statement. And our touching, so if the fish, the puffer fish, so if the fish is touching the puffer fish, what do we want to do? Well, we simply just set the end state to 1, is finished to 1. So now, watch this. So now it's going. Oh, I don't like that. And then when we touch, oh, got to actually touch without, there we go. And now the game's actually finished. So that's pretty much actually the game there, done. We can add sounds to it, we can add some music to it, so there's other stuff we can do there, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. But now what we want to do is we want to add in an end game and an introduction. So you can see everything here before the loop. This is the introduction to the game. So we can put animations here, we can have the character walking onto the screen or swimming onto the screen in this case. We can do whatever we like and then the game begins. So I'm just simply going to say here, ready, set, go. And now if you look here, ready, set, go, and off he goes. And we had a problem there with the puffer fish. So with the puffer fish, I'm gonna, well, there was 6 seconds for him to do that. So I'm just gonna put a wait in here for 6 seconds. So now, oh, better put it between those two. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and there we go, and now everybody's on their merry way. Okay, so that's starting to look good. Now, at the end here, I'm going to put the pufferfish. When he finishes, he's going to say, I got you, I win, and a frowny face. There we go. And that would be our end game state. So we can see here, collect, and oh, we picked up the pufferfish. There we go. I got you. I win. Okay. I really don't like the fact that on Scratch that you can pick up your items, objects even during the game, but there's not really much we can do. We can't turn that off. All you could really do is, if you don't like that and it's become frustrating, change up this here so it's not the mouse down. Change it up so you've got the arrow keys. So you're going to have 4 different if statements for the 4 different arrow keys, and do it by arrow key, and then you won't have that problem. But I'll leave that for you to work out. I will actually have a video clip on advanced arrow keys later on, so have a look at that if you're interested in doing that. Okay, so last thing we need to do is some sound and music. So here we go. Let's see what we've got. Well, we've already got some Okay, some bubbles. Okay, let's see what we've got. Let's add in, we need something for, what about yum? No. Eat. Oh, wasn't expecting that, but that sounds pretty good. Okay, that's pretty cool for underwater music. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the code, and then at the beginning here, I'm going to play sound. Until done, or play sound, start sound. I think maybe just start sound. And we want chill. And let's see, I might want the other one. We'll see if it goes forever. Okay, and that stopped. So I'm guessing then we want this one. It's been a while since I've played with sound, but let's see how we go. Oh, not bubbles. Let's go the chill. Oh, it's going to stay there until that sound's actually done. Okay, so what we may need to do is have a loop. I'm going to put in, sound's going to be, to get music in is going to be a little bit trickier then, because what we're going to need to do is put in one of these, and then we're going to put in another repeat until, so it doesn't conflict with this one. And we'll do the same, is equal to finish state 1. Okay, and now we're going to leave it on, where's that, repeat until done, sound, repeat until done, chill. And now that's going to loop forever, well, until the game finishes. So there we go, and now that's looping forever. And now we need a sound for eating. So let's go back and look at that. For really good music, I actually recommend going and having a look at bensound.com. There's some great music there that's free. You know what, we'll just go with that. It's probably not the best sound in the world, but it'll do. Okay, and let's play sound when he's eating, and it's that one there. So ready, set, go. Oh, that's a weird sound, but there we go. And now we just need an end sound. So we'll jump back to the fish, and what's going to play there at the end? We want some form of fanfare at the end. So sound. No, we don't want any of those. We want something fun. No, don't like that either. Ta-da, that's it there. Okay, so on the collision, I got you R1, let's put in start sound. Oh, because I put it in the wrong one. Ta-da goes in there. And let's change it to ta-da. There we go. And that's pretty much our game done now. So ready, set, go. And he's getting bigger and bigger. got 8 points. There we go. So look, that's actually everything with making a simple fish game. It's a great little game to make on Scratch, and it actually shows you all the game mechanics that pretty much Scratch has to offer. So give it a try. Just work through this video clip step by step if you need to. Yeah, and hopefully you'll come up with your own game. Reskin it too. It doesn't have to be a fish game. Make it an alien game or whatever you want. Come up with some crazy, wacky stuff in there. Certainly don't follow my code step by step. Try and add in your own flair, your own pizzazz there. Yeah, and hopefully you come up with a really good game. All right, enjoy.